Times now, and I'm Meghna Rekha. Lots lined up for you in this bulletin. First up, let's take you straight across where there's high drama unfolding in Kolkata. There's altercation between BJP workers and the policemen. We'll get you those visuals which are coming in, and there you will see how one of the BJP leaders is detained. Remember, Mamata Banerjee government has been saying, and this is something that Mamata Banerjee herself has tweeted about, saying that BJP has played a hand in inciting the violence which happened yesterday in several of the places around Howrah. Even the National Highway was also blocked. In fact, we are going to go across to Tamal, who's getting us the very latest. I believe he's there with us. Tamal, tell us about the fresh clashes in Howrah today.
Well, Meghna, I'm currently right outside the house of Sukanta Majumdar, State BJP President, who was kept under restrictions since 11:15 in the morning because he wanted to go to Howrah and visit those trouble-torn areas. He also wanted to visit the places where BJP party offices have been vandalized or torched, allegedly. Well, police had restricted him, suggesting there is section 144 in all those places, and thus no political assembling or a crowd gathering will be allowed, and that's the reason he was asked to first furnish a confirmation letter that he will not be violating the law and he will not be visiting the trouble-torn areas, to which he had refused to oblige, and thereafter he was put under restriction. But now all of a sudden we saw several BJP workers had assembled, and they had all tried forcibly get out of the restricted cordon area from the apartment, and there you see BJP State President Dilip Ghosh, State President Dr. Sukanta Majumdar is there. The entire commotion. The several BJP workers are injured because they engaged in a scuffle with the police. Police have stopped them, and there you see a couple of BJP workers have even sustained injuries. This is the place where everyone have now been restricted because police have decided not to let them go, let them step out of the restricted area. And there you see Sukanta Majumdar. He is there at the center of entire the chaos and the commotion, and all the central forces are keeping him guarded. I will try and speak to Sukanta Majumdar and see Dr. Majumdar.
এই সক্রিয়তা যদি পুলিশ ডক্টর মজুমদার আগে দেখাতো তাহলে পরে পশ্চিমবঙ্গের এই অবস্থা হতো না। যেভাবে আমাদের লোকেদেরকে মারা হয়েছে, এই মারটা তাদেরকে করা উচিত ছিল যাদেরকে অবরোধ করা হয়েছে।
Dr. Majumdar, you have not been allowed to go. You have not been allowed to step out. You have not been allowed to step outside. There are seven people, seven party workers who are now trying to exert force.
পুলিশ আইন মানছে না, পুলিশ আইন সেখানে শুনছে না, পুলিশ শুধুমাত্র টিএমসির নেতারা যা বলে দিচ্ছে সেইভাবে কাজ করছে। সিচুয়েশন ইজ প্যাথেটিক. লটস অফ আওয়ার ওয়ার্কার have been injured by the police, and police is working like a TMC cadre. They are not abiding the law.
We have stopped you from stepping out, but then...
Yeah. We are expecting just a small paper. In that it will be written that the Sukanta Majumdar has been written for this cause. But they are unable to provide any legal document. And illegally they are detaining us.
You wanted to go to Howrah and visit all the places?
I would like to go first to my party office. Even they are not allowing that. They need a muchilekha to do that. The kind of certification.
A declaration?
No, the declaration from my end. But why should I give the declaration? I have the human rights to go anywhere in the state. If the 144 it would have been imposed in the whole state, then it is justified. But otherwise, only the 144 has been imposed in Howrah. So why they are not allowing me? I am asking just a legal document from their end, but they are not providing.
Several of your workers have engaged in a scuffle. Several of your workers have engaged in a scuffle, sir.
দেখুন, আমরা লিগ্যাল স্টেপ নিচ্ছি। আমরা হাইকোর্টে গেছি, পুলিশকেও অনুরোধ করছি যে আপনারা আপনাদের লিগালি যা করণীয় তা করুন।
So there you heard Sukanta Majumdar making it very clear that he will not be accepting this restriction which has been imposed on him. He is saying that if police are restricting him, then they should first furnish a legal document clarifying as what is the reason he has been restricted for and why he has been restricted. He is saying without that document being furnished to him, he is not here to abide by a verbal restriction and an order which is coming from Bidhannagar police or from Bengal police. On part of the police, they have maintained that section 144 is imposed in several parts of Howrah and especially the trouble-torn areas. In fact, there had been a fresh flare-up in the morning at Panchla area of Uluberia, and thus they are suggesting that allowing any political gathering or a political party to go there just add further fuel to the fire, and there could be a fresh flare up. The reason why they do not want to take a chance. But then BJP leader Sukanta Majumdar says that he is not here to abide by the verbal restriction, and that he would only follow the law, and the law demands that he should be given a legal document. The reason why all the BJP workers who were so far there inside the house of Dr. Sukanta Majumdar along with him, they have tried forcibly get out of the cordon, and all these BJP workers have now scattered. Just a short while back, they have even engaged in a scuffle with the police people. Police have tried using force to actually bundle them inside the vehicle, but then they also managed to get out of the vehicle and reassemble here. So a couple of BJP workers, at least two of them I can see, they have sustained minor injuries, and they are accusing police of high-handedness. There were also scenes where police had fallen because they were literally pushed and shoved by the agitating BJP workers. So from both sides there was aggression. At this point in time, Sukanta Majumdar maintains that he will be visiting and he cannot be stopped for the law. He cites that it is his human right to go anywhere if and if he has to be restricted for whatever reason, it has to be legally communicated. He even said that his party would be moving to Kolkata High Court against this restriction, which he calls illegal. So at this point in time, there is massive tension which is building up here. This is Rajarat area. That is the house of Sukanta Majumdar, where Sukanta
বাংলার এই অবস্থা হতো না। এখন বাংলার শোচনীয় অবস্থা, বাংলার মানুষ তাদের জীবন কিভাবে রক্ষা করবে, জীবিকা কিভাবে রক্ষা করবে সেই চিন্তা ভাবনায় ব্যস্ত। পুলিশ যদি এই অ্যাক্টিভিটিটা প্রোঅ্যাক্টিভনেস যদি আগে দেখাতো তাহলে পরে কিন্তু অনেক ভালো হতো, বাংলার মানুষের জন্য ভালো হতো। देखिए पुलिस पूरी तरीके से टीएमसी की कैडर के हिसाब से, कैडर जैसे काम करता है उस हिसाब से काम कर रहा है। पुलिस का कोई लॉ एंड ऑर्डर के ऊपर फेथ ही नहीं है। हमें एक कागज भी नहीं दे रहा है कि आप यहाँ पे रुको, ठीक है, एक कागज भी नहीं दे रहे हैं। एक कागज तो देना चाहिए कि आपको डिटेन कर रहे हैं।
And they are trying to push a scuffle with of the
Well, in fact, let me go back across to Tamal. Tamal, tell us, what is the situation like right now?
Well, the situation is certainly not calm, I would say, because right outside the residence, official residence of BJP State President Dr. Sukanta Majumdar, who also happens to be a member of Parliament who enjoys central security cover, there is tension because there are several other BJP workers who had in protest assembled out here because they want Dr. Majumdar to leave and visit the trouble-torn areas. In fact, the vehicle of Dr. Sukanta Majumdar is now getting ready. We are unsure whether he would be allowed to step out or not, because there is absolute police, blanket police deployment out here, giving a complete cover from all sides, because have maintained so far that they will not be allowing anyone to go to Howrah. And the condition that was laid before the State BJP President, that if he wishes to go to Howrah, he has to first give a declaration that he will only be going to the party office and nowhere else, and without any kind of a crowd, to which Dr. Majumdar had such
because we have a chief minister like Mamata Banerjee, who is so incapable to handle any kind of this kind of a situation, or rather purposefully she is not handling, because she wants to please the 30% vote community who had moved away from her after Anish Khan murder and after the Baktui case. This community had moved away from her. So she is now a silent spectator. Things have been burned down, but she is a silent spectator. Why isn't she getting the paramilitary force? Why isn't she calling the army? Previously also, when she was in the mountains, when Gurung had done, these problems, she came down from the mountains with the paramilitary force. Theatrics. Mamata Banerjee is expert in doing theatrics.
You all will be going to Howrah. Is that the decision?
We haven't decided yet, but there is no 144 here, so they don't have any permission or any order to stop us here.
Okay.
There is no 144 here.
But section 144 is there in Howrah. Would you?
So we will decide whether we want to go. People are being killed, our Karyakartas are being killed, and our honorable president can't stand here. He will go to Howrah.
Okay. So there you see the vehicle of Dr. Sukanta Majumdar everybody is leaving. The police have allowed the vehicle to step out, but then they have not really confirmed if they are going to Howrah or not. So far, the restriction that was given to him essentially was to ensure that he doesn't visit Howrah, he doesn't go to Howrah. But at this point in time, the police certainly, in a way, had taken a back step. We saw a little while back they were trying to forcibly bundle all the BJP workers inside. In fact, that's where the clashes erupted. That's when the commotion started, because police were absolutely, the police were decided they will not be allowing BJP workers to step out of this area and step out of the house, because Sukanta Majumdar had a planned schedule of going to Howrah and especially go to those trouble-torn areas of Erupts area, because he maintained that several BJP party offices have been vandalized and allegedly torched. And the reason why he wanted to go there, police wanted a declaration citing there is section 144 that his presence over there will not be another reason for a flare-up. We have seen a fresh flare-up in the morning at Pachla area, but now after the commotion, we suddenly see that police have now all come to one side. This is the massive deployment which was here. There was massive deployment of police forces. Massive bandobast was done with barricades and all. But certainly we see that police people have now taken aside and allowed the vehicle of Sukanta Majumdar to leave, because BJP leaders, while leaving, they suggested there is no section 144 in Rajarhat in this part of Kolkata, and thus under no law they can be restricted, and thus they have to be allowed to be to leave, and possibly with that logic they are allowed to leave now. But then we do see that couple of police people who have all assembled out here, they have all taken one particular side, and initially they were trying to, initially okay, there is another we do see some BJP, we do see some kind of a flashpoint here. We see some BJP worker literally confronting the police and challenging the police. So there are people who are trying to calm him down, take him aside. Even police people are trying to intervene and calm him down, but then he wanted to confront one particular officer. So just a short while back we have seen there was massive confrontation out here. Ugly clashes in fact even happened where BJP workers wanted to use all their force to get out of that restriction, and even the barricades were thrown, barricades were broken, and they have stepped out. So BJP's logic is there is no section 144 here, so they cannot be stopped out here, they cannot be kept under restriction, and that they have to be allowed to go, because the section 140 is there in Howrah, and this place is far away from Howrah, so under no logic can they be kept restricted here. But then so far we have seen since 11:15 till now, there had been absolute high drama out here with BJP workers who were all coming in, and they were going inside the apartment, and right under the garage space we saw Sukanta Majumdar along with other BJP leaders including MLA Agnimitra Paul. They were all seated over there and they were issuing press statements while police people were waiting outside because they were kept under absolute confinement. The logic on part of police had been that they don't want a fresh flare-up and a political trouble, any kind of a trouble in Howrah with the presence of any political figure or a party, and thus he has to be stopped, and they wanted a declaration from him. Sukanta Majumdar said that he will not be obliging to the demand or the request because no law suggests that he will be barred unless there is some document furnished to him, and unless there are restrictions on the ground. Yes, it's a fact that there is section 144 in Howrah, in several parts of Howrah, but as far as this is concerned, there is no restriction. So yes, eventually it seems like police relented, and all these police people who were so far giving a complete putting a complete guard over here, they suddenly stepped aside, and Sukanta Majumdar's vehicle along with other BJP leaders have left the spot. That only happened after high drama unfolded right here outside the residence of Dr. Sukanta Majumdar because of the restriction. They wanted to challenge the restriction, they wanted to break the restriction, break the cordon, break the confinement, and leave the spot and in a way defy the police restrictions. So at this point in time they have gone. We cannot really confirm whether all the BJP leaders are going to Howrah, because there are several barricades leading to Howrah which are completely under under police vigilance and restriction. So whether they would be allowed to go to Howrah, enter Howrah with all the kind of with all the number of people they have in their respective vehicles, well, we cannot confirm that. We have to wait and see whether finally they go to Howrah or not. But at this point in time the situation seems like calming down, with police relenting and allowing Dr. Sukanta Majumdar's vehicle leave this particular spot. Back to you.
Well, this is a massive face-off which is already coming out. Tamal, you must give us a sense, and we'll just come back to you to give us a sense of what it is that the TMC administration is doing in face of the massive criticism that they are facing. Meanwhile, here are some of the voices which are coming in of the BJP leaders.
Till now, we have not received anything from the police, any official letter. Just verbally, sir, you could not step out of your house because law and order situation is not good in Howrah, and we impose 144 in Howrah. So that is the reason why they are not allowing me to come out from my house.
Did you have plans to go to Howrah, sir?
Obviously, I have the plan to go to the Howrah because you know that yesterday my party office, my district headquarters has been set on fire, and it was vandalized by the people, and police was mum, and they were doing nothing to restrict them. So this is the situation. Not only that, our lot of workers, they has been attacked by those goons, and they have been beaten brutally, and most of them are injured. And even not only our party workers, Thana has been vandalized, PS has been vandalized, Domjud PS has been vandalized, and 7 policemen, according to my information, they have been admitted to the Howrah Rural Hospital. So this is the law and order situation of the West Bengal. But our Chief Minister surprisingly kept mum.
वेस्ट बंगाल में ये मांग की जा रही है कि आर्मी डिप्लॉय हो जाए, क्योंकि वहां पर लॉ एंड ऑर्डर
जहां पर भी इस तरह की घटनाएं हो रही हैं वहां पर कानून को सख्ती से अपना काम करना चाहिए, बिना भेदभाव के काम करना चाहिए।
যে ঘটনাটা ঘটছে সেই ঘটনাটা খুব ভালো নয়। আবার দেখলাম গতকাল গত পরশু পরিবাররা শুরু করেছে, আবার পলায়ন হবেন। সংঘবদ্ধ হন, সনাতনী এটা বেঁচে থাকুক।
Well, these ground reports will continue to come in from West Bengal. Unfortunately, even on the second day, there is violence and clashes which are happening this time around between BJP cadres and the policemen. Who's fanning these flames? That's the question we'll relentlessly ask. With that, a short break.